But it really was. It was the beginning of the Torah portion, the double portion of Matot and Maseh. And the opening verse of Maseh was Hashem recounting the Jewish journey through the desert. Here, Numbers 33, verses 1 through 2. Elamaseh b'nei Israel asher yatsu me'eretz Mitzrayim. These are the journeys of the children of Israel who went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moshe and Aaron. And Moshe wrote their starting places according to the journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to the starting places. So the question one could ask themselves is, why is it important for the Torah to list the journeys at all? Why are the names of each stop important? Couldn't the Torah just say it took them 40 years and there were a lot of stops? So open your hearts to this ancient midrash that answers the question. It says it's analogous to a king whose son became sick. So he took him to a faraway place to have him healed. On the way back, the father began citing all the stages of their journey, saying to him, this is where we sat. Here we were cold. Here you had a headache. Likewise, God instructed Moses to list all the places the Jewish people angered God. Thus it is stated, these are the journeys. Now let's remember that these stops and these journeys were punctuated by traumas and rebellion and pain and failure. And so why are they recounted? Because when we are through them, when we're on the other side, when we're in the promised land, we will be able to look back at these events, at these stops with completely different eyes. It's hard to see and imagine now when we're immersed in this anxiety and this fear and these emotions, but we'll be able to see them for what they really were, moments of growth and refinement in which we became the nation that we needed to be in order to enter the land of Israel. Without all of those failures and sins and mistakes, without all of that, we would have never been able to become the people we needed to be worthy and ready to enter the Holy Land. And so King David says in Psalm 30, verse 2, Aromimcha Hashem ki delitani. I will praise you, Hashem, because you have lifted me up and not allowed my enemies to rejoice over me. We've shared this before, but it just applies here so much, I needed to say it again. The word in Hebrew for lifted me up that is used here is delitani, which comes from the word dli, which means bucket. And our sages liken it to a bucket that is lowered into the dark depths. And it may seem so dark and lonely and purposeless. Why is it going down into this darkness so far down? But when the bucket comes up, it's filled with water. There was a reason it had to go into that darkness. And so too, there is a reason that we need to go into the darkness that we need to go into. And if we keep this truth in mind during these dark times, if we keep this faith alive in our hearts, then may we be blessed to see a brief glimpse of the redemptive light that will come from all of our pain. And even while we're deep within it, even when we're deep within it, those stops, the signing of the guarantor, the car accident, we're going to look back at that, me and Shayna, and we'll look at them at precious stops along the way. Please God, Rudy Rahman will return to Israel and he'll be safe with the entire holy crew of Jews that he's with. And we'll look at this trauma as part of the journey that we needed to go through in order for Messiah to come.
This highlight was taken from the Land of Israel Fellowship. Every week, hundreds of families from literally around the world come together on our live Zoom sessions to strengthen each other, to inspire each other, and to learn Torah from the Land of Israel, in which we connect the dots between the Bible, the Hebrew language, and the confusing events of our times. Go to www.thelandofisrael.com/fellowship or click on the link below to join. Thank you.